My name is KJ, and today we're going to talk about all the books I want to read in 2026. This video is going to be split up into two parts. First, I'm going to talk through the fantasy books and series I want to read this year, and then we're going to move more into a mostly thrillers category with a few others in there as well. First up, we have Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. This is finally the year I get to this book. This is book 3 in what I would consider to be Brandon Sanderson's magnum opus, which is his Stormlight Archive series, beginning with The Way of King. This is an epic story. We're primarily following 3 characters: Shallan, who is a scholar, Kaladin, who is a soldier, and Dalinar, who is also a bit of a war general, we'll say. I'm really attached to all 3 of our main characters in this story. The end of book 2 is explosive and really expands the world and the scope of this story, and I'm excited to see where it continues from there. Next, I have The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, which is part of the Dandelion Dynasty. This is a series that has been at the top of my TBR for years now, and for whatever reason, I just haven't got to it. I believe this is a Chinese-inspired fantasy. I've been told this first book here reads like a history book, and I've also been told that there's like an engineering component to this series. I have been missing some science and math over the last 2 years. Let's see what this book holds. Next, we have The Way of the Many by James Islington. This is a book that's received a ton of hype over the last few years, especially at the end of 2025 when the second book in this series came out. I believe this is a magic school setting, something to do with the ability to will powers or something of that nature to other people. I hope this is political. I hope this has characters to root for, and I'm excited to check it out in 2026. The next book I want to chat about is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the second book in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first series in Robin Hobb's overarching realm of the Elderlings. I read Ship of Magic for the first time in 2025, absolutely loved it, and felt like I wanted to go back to Farseer, get a better understanding of the world, the different magic systems at play here. So I reread Assassin's Apprentice last year, enjoyed my time, gave it 4 stars, and I'm hoping to continue on with this series, see what Fitz gets up to, because I do not remember anything from the first time I read it. That's what happens when you read a book on 2 times speed via audio while you're riding a bike, I guess. 2026 is going to be the year that I start my first reread of A Game of Thrones and the larger A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. I picked this book up in 2022, and I've just been reeling to get back into this universe. I started watching the show in 2025, made it through 5 seasons, and said, you know what, I'm good. I'm excited to encounter these characters again for the first time and see and remember where the story starts and where it goes from here. And the last fantasy book I want to talk about, I realize the Dusk Jacket has been sitting up there for the entire video. That is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. This book exploded in 2025, essentially about our main character Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat Donut as they are propelled into this game of navigating dungeons underground. I'm 200 pages into this book already, really enjoying it. I am listening to the audiobook, excited to see how the rest of the story unfolds. Okay, shifting into the non-fantasy books, the first one I want to talk about is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. This was a very popular book from 2025. I believe this takes place in Antarctica, something to do with a seed bank, and a body kind of washes up on shore, and the story unfolds from there. I think this has elements of mystery thriller. It has something to say about the environment and climate change, and due to how hyped this book was last year, I'm excited to check it out. Next, we have Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I don't know much about this book other than the cover looks pretty atmospheric. I've read a few Alice Feeneys in the past. I think I gave Rock, Paper, Scissors 4.5 stars. I thought Daisy Darker was just okay, and I gave it 3 stars. This book received a lot of praise in 2025, and I've heard great things about Alice Feeney's 2026 release, so I'm looking forward to checking out this one. Next is another thriller from an author whom I've read from before, and that is The Storm by Rachel Hawkins. I believe this is a 2026 release. I'm not sure if it's out yet. My understanding of this book is it takes place in the South somewhere and has something to do with a hurricane. I'm someone who's very interested in natural disasters. I don't know a ton about this book going into it, but I'm hoping it's a thrilling ride. I've read Reckless Girls from Rachel Hawkins, which I enjoyed. I guess we'll see what this book has in store. The next book is gonna be My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I've never read from this author before. My understanding of this book is it kind of takes place in a outdoor setting in the West, maybe Idaho, and it's basically a slasher. I don't read a ton of horror, but the slasher genre is one of my favorites. In terms of horror films, I love Scream. I think I've heard this book's a bit slower in the beginning, but I'm excited to see if I can pick up on any of the references to pop culture and horror. The last book I want to talk about is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Very popular in either 2023 or 2024. I've read some books from Lisa Jewell that I've loved. I thought The Family Upstairs was really interesting and unique. This book was incredibly hyped. I think it might have won the Goodreads Choice Awards unless Frida took it out, but it's one I've had my eye on and I'm interested to see what I think about it. There you have it. Those are my priority reads for 2026. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another video. That's all I've got for now because I forgot what else was supposed to be in the video.